three ways of removing a regime. Number one, in a democratic society, and Kenya is far from democratic, you do so by having credible, transparent, accountable elections. We did an election. Unfortunately, Ruto became rogue and thought an election was a coronation. He thought being president was being a king. And he thought citizens were his subjects, that he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. The second one is through a coup d'etat. A military can take power and replace a regime. And the third one is a popular revolution, a popular, peaceful revolution on the streets. So we don't have a military that we want to take power, and we don't want the military engaged in politics. Elections are so far, and Ruto has already looted the entire country and wants to continue mismanaging, abducting people, and committing extrajudicial killings. We are tired of that. We can't have him for the next 3 years. So we resort to popular revolution, peaceful, on the street, under clause 1 of the Constitution, saying enough is enough. We are taking back the country. We have a right under clause 1 of the Constitution to exercise our sovereignty and to be able to remove the delegation that we vested in you, because you have abused us. You have just abused the power that we gave you. You have refused to be accountable to us. And after we do that, as I said last week, there is a process. And I will go over the process again so that we don't have these repetitions. Number one, we set up a national transitional authority, a civilian body made up of 54 volunteers, one from each national ethnic community, professionals who will comprise the youth, men, women of integrity from all religious backgrounds. They will be volunteers. They will not be paid. And they will work in order to set up, one, an independent investigative authority to investigate all questionable land grabs or land allocations, corruption scandals, allegations of institutional and individual abuse, political assassinations, looting from 1963 to now, so that we can put all these grievances to rest once and for all. We can have our country back. We can have our productive land back, so that we can turn it into a factor of production in order to eliminate food insecurity and all manner of problems. Then, within 2 weeks, the National Transitional Authority will reconstitute the IEBC. So let's stop talking about the IEBC. Because if we allow Ruto to reconstitute the IEBC, he will fill it up with his girlfriends and cronies. And then the elections of 2027 will be a coronation, because these people will help him steal the elections. This is what Uhuru tried through the people that were at Serena Hotel, remember? Those were put there strategically so that they could coronate Raila Odinga in the last election, so that we didn't have to have a credible election. We should put an end to electoral injustice by having this IEBC overhauled. It's going to be made up of credible Kenyans with integrity, Kenyans who are not going to serve any specific interest or political party. And then within 3 months, then we have fresh presidential and general elections. This is a very clear thing, and it is doable. As I said last week, elections are routine matters. Election is not a very difficult thing to do. Then we can adopt the technology that the blockchain technology that our friend was talking about, to secure the electoral process, to make it tamper-proof. Like yesterday, they locked me out of my phone. pretended to be sending me information through DMs. Then I read it, and within a short time, I was not able to use my Twitter on my phone. Right now, I'm speaking to you on my laptop because they invaded my phone. So they are trying everything. And you know, if you are really a Democrat, if you really respect your people, if you really believe that you mean well for the country, you wouldn't do these things. You wouldn't hire hackers to attack your critics. You wouldn't hire goons to abduct your critics. You wouldn't charge your critics for saying Ruto must go. That's under the Bill of Rights. That's free speech. You cannot take anybody to court and they are convicted because they sang Ruto must go. From now on, our national anthem is Ruto must go until he goes. Then we can revert back to our usual national anthem. I thank everybody. I hope that we can turn out in large numbers because our numbers are our safety, are our security, is what is going to preserve our lives. The last point, this is very critical because people are going to ask, so who can preside over the National Transitional Authority? We have many suggestions, but one of the most critical suggestions is that the Chief Justice, just like happened in the last elections in South Africa, can sit in there, preside over the National Transitional Authority comprised of 54 volunteers for only the period that the general and presidential elections are to happen. Not because we like her or we like the office, not because the judiciary is clean, but for institutional authority that is recognized under the Constitution. Right now, there is not much that she can do if she was to act there voluntarily for a period of 3 months. And there is nobody else we should trust. We cannot trust Wetangula, who heads the National Assembly. We cannot trust Kingi, who works for Ruto. These are Ruto appointees. We cannot trust the military. So the only titular constitutional head that could serve this purpose under the supervision of 54 volunteers, but under the check ultimately of the population of Kenya, would be the Chief Justice. I'm just giving this as an example. And then nobody would say we would have a vacuum. And everybody would understand this is a transitional authority. And if they bring any nyoko-nyoko, then we greet them nicely. Thank you very much, gentlemen and gentlewomen.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for taking the time to come and be with us and share with us. And thanks everyone who was listening. I'll be very, very brief before Hillary closes. I'd like to say that yesterday I received a lot of messages of people telling me to stop inciting them to go and demonstrate. Nobody is inciting anyone to go and demonstrate. What is happening here is that the right to do that is actually enshrined in the Constitution. Now, today I woke up to the government intimidating people. There was the police who would not posted for many months, now posting about, these are the suspects. There was the ministry, the CS of health now coming out all of a sudden after they have killed and maimed people to say, those patients have been paying. We've waived all the time, waived the bill, trying to discredit the people who were collecting the money. So the tactic out here is, as I've seen and I'm being recorded, I saw today the government was trying to intimidate a lot of people, and this is going to continue. So those of you who are coming and thinking Badge is inciting anyone, soon, mark my words, you will be in my inbox telling me how somebody has been kidnapped where and I don't know. So just check with yourself. Know what you want to do. The goons that are being paid, you are in a space where people confessed that they were paid 500 shillings per day to run a wrong narrative. Now, I will mention Intumbi now because he was also mentioned by the person who he had paid in that space. He had paid 500 shillings per day, but they had gone ahead and arrested the person. So the people who participated in being paid apologizing and asking for apologies. So this is an example that you people see that it never works. So even the goons that are being paid there, you're selling your soul for no good reason. You had better follow the right process. You better just use your conscience to really even just wait for some more months. Don't do the things that you're going to regret later, but fight for an enabling environment. If you have the employment back home, because this is what is really bringing a lot of people to the streets, then you will not need to have somebody giving you 500, they send it to your phone, they're going to be able to track you again. So guys, the assignment is back to you. Check. What do you want to do? If you want to be paid by those people, they come for you. That's it. You saw on the spaces, it was recorded. Hillary, I'll be real kindly closing remarks and then you close.
Thank you so much, Matt. That was very, very well put. And another point of correction, if you're not here when we began, this is a disclaimer. Dr. Miguna is not the head of the Gen Zs and is not stealing any show. He was only here as a senior counsel trying to give directives onto when people were asking what next because we got to the parliament. So anybody that was not here and you had that narrative being shared anywhere else, it's a disclaimer. He's not here for that and he's still on the speaker panel. He'll affirm that for you. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, history will judge you. So if you're not with the team, don't send a wrong narrative. If you are sanitizing yourself to be able to fit back into the Gen Z system, sanitize yourself as an individual, but don't sell a narrative that is not there. Because the first narrative we had was about tribe. It was killed. The second narrative we had, it was being funded. It was killed. The third narrative we had, it was the political affiliation. It was killed. It's none of those ones. So this narrative that you brought for, it was about the KDF, which also never saw the head of light. Another narrative that is now being shared is Miguna and Giraigo. Those people are not the leaders of the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs and the millennials, they don't have a leader. So if you want to sanitize yourself to fit back into the relevant narrative, fit back yourself as an individual. And let's work as a team, because this is not Kenya for Marge, it's not Kenya for Be Real, it's not Kenya for Bob, it's Kenya for all of us. And if you're not in Kenya, you have people back at home, and this thing affects you directly or indirectly. So if you're not seeing what is being brought, and today you saw what was happening in the Senate, then you can actually wake up from the slumberland and actually feel the need of the people for a change of governance. All we're crying for is a change of governance. People are suffering. We're going to an era whereby it's going to be the haves and the have-nots. How long are we going to sell that kind of a narrative? And then you can sit comfortably and talk that talk, and yet you know what has been affecting Kenya. They kill the medical system and then they open private hospitals. Who's going to afford that? They kill the public schools and they open private schools for themselves. So how long are we going to run that? So whatever we are voting for, whatever we are fighting for, whatever we are crying for as a nation, as a country, is good governance. We have a lot of spillage of wastage of funds. We have a lot of spillage of projects that are not done, and yet they're documented that they are done. Nobody is accountable for that. Accountability is key, even in your own organizations. Accountability is key. We have managers, we have directors. So if we are selling a narrative that is not in coincide with whatever is happening, kindly just sit back and watch the people who can walk the talk, walk it through. It was a pleasure hosting the space. I thank everyone that was able to be on the space today. May God bless you, Doctor. We really appreciate your wisdom in the space, and we thank you very much to accept the second invite. And we hope going forward you're still with us. And anybody that is here,
welcome.
God bless
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you very much. God bless you so much, Hillary. God bless you and everyone else. Tomorrow we meet. And those that are in my area, you know yourselves, I have water. I'm offering water. That's all I can give the Gen Zs. So if you're there and you think that somebody is sponsoring, if you're there and you want to water down what they've been doing, that's the call that you've been given. Let the people who have the right call, let them follow that call. God bless you, everyone. Hillary, take it back. Marge, if he's not there, because it was a bit held, guys. Sorry, Hillary was held, but it was already scheduled. But you took it through, and we appreciate you for being here. God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Burial. I just tried to text Hillary, and it seems like he's indeed really held up. So let me just try to text him again. But I think now I can see Hannah. we can give another chance as we try to get Hillary to come on board and close the space. It's really late on this end. We also want to just, continue with other things. And now over to you.
Very much. Hillary, I don't know if you can hear me. Marge, thank you. Be real. To be honest, I don't know. Only a blind person would not see how much the regime is trying to shut people down. We've been having problems. I have been having problems coming onto the platform. I am on the platform. I'm dropped down, etc., etc. Now they cannot shut these voices down. Let's get that one thing clear. Thanks again, Marge. I know you're closing. They've fiddled with everybody. Whoever has a voice, whoever wants to give people voice, they've tried to fiddle with it. Now let's not take this to be lightly. My only message to people on the platform is do not open your DM if you're sent any link, unless it's somebody that you know, because that way is how they send you a bag, and then you're unable to voice, you're unable to add your voice into the movement that is going on. People on their social media, on this platform, actually on X, they send you links on your DM, and that messes everything up. These sideshows, people are actually pushing a lot of different narratives. Please do not concentrate on them. They're just sideshows. That's all it is. It's a sideshow. They would try and divide the voices on many different platforms, as we've seen here on X, telling people there is no demonstrations tomorrow. We should call for a leader. All this, you should not concentrate on it. There is no leader. We've agreed on that. The other thing is, I think this regime is concentrating mainly Mombasa, Nairobi, and 2-3 other towns where they're trying really to unleash the goons to the public. I actually want to give a shout out to Isiolo. They've managed to catch somebody on Tuesday who red-handed, and they've marched him to the police station with a jerrycan and matches, kibiriti, that wanted to light fire on one of their county government offices. So congratulations to them. And this is what it's needed, vigilant. You have to be vigilant. I have seen a lot of young people grouping, giving each other instructions on when they're going to the demos. And this is be small groups, in a group. I cannot emphasize enough on everything that Dr. said here, Marge, Be Real, and everybody who contributed. But there is one thing that I really want to emphasize on. Forget about these sideshows. They're there to confuse people, and as many people who can come out in numbers. Remember, our strength is in our numbers. So please, and a lot of people would, a lot of people would be attacked. A lot of people would be name tarnished. But remember, everybody that is speaking here on these platforms, you don't take everything what you hear. Take it with a pinch of salt, because there are people who want to confuse the narrative, want to confuse the message. The message is one. This concentration on what is next, how can we remove this, how can we do that? No, the message is one. And as Dr. said, the national anthem for now is Ruto Must Go. Thank you, Marge. I don't think I've added anything much from what has been said, but it's just to emphasize, stop concentrating on the side shows. This is what they want. They want the division. They want the concentration to be divided. I've seen a lot of young people coming on the TV actually saying that we don't have a leader. If the EU wants to speak to a leader, he should go to every county, every sub-county, and talk to everybody, the whole country, to the Gen Zs and the millennials in everywhere or every corner of Kenya. And we know that is a tall order. He cannot do that. If he cannot do that, therefore then he has to leave office. The message comes back to its origin, which is Ruto must go. So thank you very much, Marge.
Thanks so much, Hannah. I mean, the question about the Gen Z leadership has really always startled me, because constitutionally at the moment, the leader that we have for the country is Ruto. So Ruto is the leader of the Gen Zs at the moment. So, and they are expressing their dissatisfaction with him, and that is now where he also needs to come back and say, these are my people, what do they want? So the question about the Gen Z leaders, I think we should stop we're making ourselves very ridiculous, because there's already one leader according to the constitution, and that leader should just listen to the people that are talking to him. Vincent Walewa, and then Sami. We added some speakers as we try to get Hillary to close the space, because he was having some meeting. I think he's very deep in that meeting, so we're going to add 15 minutes. Vincent?
Thank you so much for letting me back on again. Look, I just wanted to reiterate the point that, look, I really feel for the people on the ground. It's going to be hard. It's really a struggle, but for me, I've gathered together a bunch of geeks, for the lack of the better word, and what we're doing is we're building momentum to, as I said before, start direct democracy and making every single level of government accountable via the blockchain. Now, the first step in that process, which I've committed my team to and myself, is a voting system that is incorruptible, and we will deliver that on the 17th of July. Everything else has been put aside to do this. I'm holding regular spaces, so please follow me to listen in on the ins and outs of how we're doing that and how it will be incorruptible. And we need the word to spread. Like the good doctor said, is that yes, there is time for people to protest on the ground, but in the future, this system of government that is all over the world, pervasive, and has failed consistently. In every single country, this Westminster system has been exploited and corrupted everywhere. So it needs to end. The only country I believe within my heart of hearts that can do this is Kenya. And the reason why I believe that Kenya can do this is because the demographic there that is undertaking this revolution now is the demographic that understands the technology and knows its benefit and how to implement it properly. And then they can pass on the information to their elders if they do not understand. We're undertaking an education campaign through the application that will be able to be downloaded in a few weeks. But please, as the good doctor said, there is some work to be done on the ground. Unfortunately, these people are very experts at at usurping movements. They've done it in every country all around the world. There's a number of three-letter agencies that are involved that are helping Ruto. It's not going to very well funded. This all started, remember, with the IMF, and the biggest holder of shares in the IMF is the US. And who's this man been seeing lately? It's the same story over and over again. So, they're trying to make Kenya the 36th country that will be overthrown since World War II by the same people. So please join us. Please ask any questions in terms of decentralization in the blockchain. Join my space if you can. And we will deliver a product that I hope will forever change voting in this country forever. So please follow me to get the updates on that. And it's a long road forward, but these systems of government have to go. People have to be held accountable, and corruption needs to end.
Thank you, Vincent. I'd just like to, thanks for sharing, and I believe this, Kingsman, I see you, I'm going to let you go next. I believe this is going to be also a solution in some part, but I would like to clarify that even the last elections in Kenya, the management was done by non-Kenyans, who later, when we wanted to have access, was talking about data privacy. So you might be having good intentions, but we also have foreign nationals and foreign companies who have been making money with the running elections in the African continent. In Germany, we are still doing it a manual way. We go there, we do it manually, and by 6 p.m. we have the results. But we know that the challenges that we have back there, and of course, I believe we need to improve, and we will improve. But I just want to point out, and it's even on record, that the last company that ran elections in Kenya had been charged with
Sure,
some.
but what you're talking about are centralized.
Would you please let me finish?
Sure.
Thank you. So the country that the company that was really taxed with this was had issues in other countries. They had already been charged in court or had some accusations, so they were not clean. I just like to say that whereas we are looking for solutions out there, the solution should also come from within the country. That's only the one thing that I wanted to say, because they also had a back office that later turned out to be used for different purposes. So my feedback that I'm trying to give at the moment is that Kenyans might not trust the even any electrical kind of voting at this point. That I wanted to just put out there. And also, when these things are being done externally, in the US, in Australia, they rarely bring in people from outside the country to manage their elections. So we want to reach a point where we're actually managing our elections ourselves. We haven't read the ballot papers were gotten from Greece the last time. So no, that is just another IMF in another way. So thank you for your contribution over there, Kingsman.
Before you give it to Kingsman,
can I just finish, please?
just 1 second,
I think
Vincent.
it's a very important
Just a
topic.
minute, Vincent. Vincent, just a second. The other thing, Matt, is that we are trying to actually demolish this whole system, the system that has been there since Kenya got independent. It's the system that is actually corrupt to the core. So this whole governance system, whether it's election system, whether it's whatever it is, every aspect of that system, that engine has to. There's actually demonstrations and whatever is going on is to fundamentally dismantle this system, neo-colonialism system that has crippled Africa and now crippling Kenya, and that is fundamentally what Kenyans want. They want to go away with this system, complete, take this system out, not a middle with it, not fix it, no, just a complete change of system from the bottom. And have a system that is going to provide for the Kenyans, that is going to provide for Africa. This system of just manipulation and installing leaders that would work for their betterment has to end. And that's what the point is.
May I just complete? Thank you, Hannah. May I just complete the?
Yes, please. Go on, Vincent.
I'm quite shocked at your comments, actually, that you were making some inference that I'm coming in from the outside or whatever. Blockchain technology is completely 100% transparent in terms of the fact that what we're building is open source, and I have made a call to all Kenyan developers to monitor exactly what we're building and to have a look at every single line of code in terms of what we're doing. This is not something, my wife is Kenyan. Kenyan is my future country. I'm investing in Kenya in so many ways that it's in terms of bringing blockchain technology to Kenya and the rest of Africa for that matter. I have no belief in the West, but our system is 100% transparent, totally open source. So the inference that it may be external is preposterous and ridiculous. And the systems that you're talking about are centralized systems that have been in play for years and years and years. And of course they're manipulated. Henceforth, this is why we want to bring blockchain technology to the forum whereby people can, it's incorruptible, it has never failed, and they are terrified. The powers that be are terrified of you holding the power, of you owning the technology, and that's what we want, ownership by the people. So look, I understand the thoughts. This is some of the things that we need to work through and discuss and give an education piece on. But it is not centralized. It is totally open source, totally transparent. And the people internally in Kenya are more than capable of going through the system and finding it out. And they have, and they've been involved at every single point of the discussion in terms of building this.
Okay, thank you so much, Vincent. I'd like to just remind you that elections in every country of the world is a matter of national security and a matter of also the constitution. And this is the reason why we're talking about even when are we going. Could you kindly mute your mic, Vincent? That is why we're even talking about when to reconstitute the IBC. It's not something that can be put out there for businessmen, people coming to take them. So even if a country in any part of the world would make a decision to outsource this process to an external company, there are laid out rules to be done. So the citizens that you say we'll transparently look at it and everything. I just want to really make it clear that this is the constitution we are talking about. And the standards that apply in every other country should apply also in Kenya. So we want to see this system also working in the US or wherever you are. We're not into still being sold things like, let's develop here. We want to develop what you want to. When it comes to national security and constitution, we just want to be clear that, and the feedback that I'm giving you is something that really happened. You can look it up. And it's not like I'm trying to talk down what you're explaining. I'm just trying to get my concerns out there. Yes, the continent needs a lot of input. The continent has very competent people, has a younger generation, but let's have really clear structures, because when you go there, and even if your what is it called, your process is clean, the corruption, people are going to want you to pay something, and then next time another government comes in, there's another one, and I think that, and so we're really just having a reset. And my feedback was that at least the last election, the things that we saw. So this is not meant to be to look down upon what you're saying. Thanks for joining us. Kinsman, over to you.
Thank you, Mark, for the chance. Vincent, I just want to make a brief a rebuttal on whatever you've said. I think whatever you're saying, it's noble, it's a good idea, but for me, if you ask me, you are presenting a noble idea whose time has not come. It's like going to a burial and then selling a wedding gown to the bereaved. So the position where we are in as a country, we are not at that time where we can start discussing about which system works for us, which system does not. Our problem as a country is about the political positions giving people opportunities that are not practical and are not fair enough for each and every other person to compete in. So even if you say that your system is incorruptible, it can be incorruptible in terms of operations, but the people who are getting into your systems are corrupt. So in Kenya, we do not have a problem of, I can even say we do not even have a problem of elections process. We have a problem of whereby the people that we elect into these positions of power are people that have been here for the last 40, 50 years. So why is that so? It is so because of the opportunities that come along you being in those political positions. And the narrative in the country is like, the citizens, the electoral, the electorals, and then the Kenyans at large are tired of being part of this whole ecosystem whereby doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. So my sentiments goes back to what Maja said, and also to what Hannah said. So to that, I think for now we are putting the cart before the horse. So hold that thought. In the near future, we'll hold this space. I'm sure you will be invited, or you can come in, and then now we do not. In life, no idea is a bad idea. It's only that they say that um, you cannot get rid of an idea whose time has come. But I think where we are at the moment, it is not the time for that kind of an idea. So back to our conversation. My rally call, or my last message, will be to our current sitting president, Dr. Ruto. My sentiment will be like, he shouldn't feel like there is anyone who is intimidating him, because most of us here are good students of history, and we remember back in 2007, he was 2008 now, after the election of 2007, he was at the forefront of calling then President Kibaki to step aside and accept the results of the election at that time, because the mood in the country was like Kibaki had not won. And Ruto was at the forefront of calling Kibaki to resign, no, to step aside and let whoever that candidate was at that time to take over power. That is the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So Ruto's peoples and his cronies and his bloggers, the nice people that he has put into this space, they shouldn't feel like we are intimidating his hold of power or his regime. We are just doing what some of us are his proteges and students, and some of us are also students of history, whereby when we feel like something is not right, then we call it off. We spoke about the day before, maybe to those who are not here, or those who are being intimidated by the message that is going around. We said that Article 1 of the Constitution gives the power to the people, and it says people can exercise power in two ways: through the national government, that is now the national government that we know the way it is, like the executive, that is parliament and the senate, or through the county, and secondly, through the people exercising their power directly. That comes when people, either the electorates, feel like parliament is not representing us, because everywhere these people are going, they were being told, tafadhali, this finance bill is not for us. It's not speaking the language that is in the street. It is not resonating with the population, or with the Kenyan people, but they didn't listen to us, because that is the only way we can speak to power. And we felt at that point that these people were not hearing us. Then the people have decided to exercise their right of governance directly, that is through demonstrations, and which we've overemphasized that these demonstrations are peaceful. And at the end of the day, there is a goal that we want to achieve, that we are saying, boss, we employed you, we gave you power, we gave you a mandate, which you failed. These were your JDs, these were your KPIs. You have not even met half of it. So we are saying, at the moment, please step aside, and then we decide our form of governance. So this discourse continues. Discourse continues the day after, tomorrow, on Sunday, or Monday, or next week. We will keep on doing what we are doing, and guys, don't give up. Let's stay true to the cause. Those that will be on the street tomorrow, ensure that it is as peaceful as it is. Birilla say that she'll be where you always find her, with a lot of bottles of water. Please pass through there. Be peaceful. Maintain law and order. Don't fall into their traps. which is maybe engage in violence, as Dr. Aria said. Let's remain as peaceful as possible. If there are people that you are seeing are trying maybe to loot, as we said the day before, if you are in a group, please pick that person up, tie him somewhere. If there's a police that is nearby, call him, and then they can be taken up by now the authorities. Otherwise, guys, thank you. I see Hillary, you are back. You can maybe have your last remarks, then we close the group. Thank you.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Maja, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm fine. Your meeting was extended. So,
I'm
oh
sorry.
my gosh. So now, because
Yes.
we actually gave people time because we were still waiting for you to get into the meeting. I would request that you allow them to have 2 minutes each before you close.
All right. So, what do you think? Can we close it at the top of the hour?
Yes.
All right, guys. You have 24
Yeah,
minutes.
that's fine.
24 minutes to go. So, yeah, that's okay, Maj.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Yeah, Joe, then Dolo, then Eda.
All right. Thank you, Maj. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, everyone on the speaker panel and everyone that's listening. I want to start at the top like an old school preacher and say that in the latter days I will pour out my spirit upon all people, and your sons and daughters will prophesy, your young men will see visions. This is really what's happening in Kenya, that the Spirit of God is moving upon the country and is speaking through our sons and daughters. We've had a church that has gone rogue. We've had our leaders who are in bed, or the politicians are in bed with the church, but we are having a restoration. So I want to encourage all those guys out there who are voicing out their protests against the government, against injustice, against all those unconstitutional appointments, that you guys are doing the work of God. That the voice of the people is the voice of God, whether it's expressed through the ballot or it's just expressed through their normal voices. In fact, the scripture says that from the mouth of babes unto the heart of God, continue doing it, continue persisting, do not relent, do not give them space. They are actually against, they are doing things against the will of God by oppressing you. So you have the will, you also have the backing of the Almighty behind you. So continue, keep on the fight. I want to honor those of us, or those amongst us who have been killed by this government. They have done us an honor. It is because of them that we exist, that we live, that we are going to enjoy our freedom, and we will not let them down. We will fight this thing. We will push this thing to the end. We will make sure that we get the results that they were fighting for. I want to encourage you guys to keep on. It's a battle. If we win a few battles, we will eventually win the war. So keep on fighting. It's not a one day or one stage event. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and Kenyans are marathoners. So keep your strength. Get ready for the final sprint. Build your strength, and we make sure that we win this thing. They started by calling our kids cool kids. Then they migrated on and started calling them terrorists and goons. And nowadays their language has changed to sons and daughters. And I want to focus that sons and daughters. Who orders the police to shoot and kill their sons and daughters? Only a terroristic government orders the cops to shoot, to kill their sons and daughters. So do not buy all their retreat. It's a tactical retreat. Reorganize, regroup, and then the battle continues. If they are surely calling you your sons and daughters, they should be giving you all those plump appointments in government. They should be making you heads of boards that are making money, but they want to send you to they want to send you to Saudi Arabia. They want to send you to other countries to work as housemaids while their kids or their sons and daughters are serving at the heads of boards, different boards, not even just one board. but different boards of parastatus and other state-owned corporations. But they want to ship you and your 2 degrees, or ship you and your PhD to go work as a taxi driver in London, or work as a janitor in the US, or work as a cotton picker in Turkey. But they want their sons and daughters to remain in the country and reap the benefits of your sweat, of the sweats of our parents and our grandparents. But our message is very clear right now that we want to remain in Kenya. We want Kenya to work for Kenya. We want to be educated in Kenya. We want Kenya to produce enough food and to be food secure, that our kids are not going to be hungry, that we will get rid of this we will get rid of hunger. We want to make sure that our kids get to heaven. So I also wanted to talk to say something about integrity when it comes to our elections. I wanted to tell the guy who was talking about blockchain technology that I wanted to start by saying that Kenyans can wipe their ass. We don't need foreigners to help us with managing our democracy or managing our elections. We can wipe our ass. We can count. We don't suffer from dyscalculia. We know when it's just that a few of us, when it comes to counting our elections and upholding the integrity of our elections, that they get bribed or they get threatened and they buckle. But we are capable of holding our own and holding our end. And this movement is evident to that. There's a generation that cannot be bought. There's a generation that knows their democracy is not for sale, and they are standing by it. And I want to encourage them to keep on fighting, keep on keeping on. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Ndolo, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Maj. Thank you, Hilary. Wonderful conversation there. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. No matter what we do with the demonstration, we know that Kenya is our home. So let nobody threaten us with some police force, goons, and all that. At the end of the day, in some cultures where we say where your umbilical cord was buried, you'll always go back there. And apologies. We always go back there. That's why.
Are you seeing a goon passing by on the motorbike?
No, it's too hot. It's summer, so it's hot. The windows are open. Somebody just decided to rush with the. Anyway.
Ndolo, tell the Nduthi guy to mute.
That Nduthi guy is useless. Anyway, that's why in most of African cultures, when somebody dies, is taken home, as opposed to some scenario where somebody dies, he or she is buried there where he has passed on or she has passed on. So we know that wherever we are, if you are in Australia, Japan, Kamchatka, wherever, US, whenever you pass on, you're taken back and you rest with your ancestors, the soil. Some of us, when you reach home, the first thing you do is remove the shoes and step on the ground with your bare feet. So, goons or no goons, we should continue putting on the pressure and ensure that bad governance is wiped out completely. Because this is not, it wasn't just about the financial bill. It's everything, starting from 2013. The way somebody was in power, and in the end, tried to say that, oh, I did not do this. Yet there was a time when they were walking in bromance, in matched shirt, matched t-shirts, matched vest. I believe even the panties were matched. So these are the things that we're talking about. The loan that we're paying now, these loans and the Eurobond, they were taken in 2014 when they were working together, marched in red ties and blue whatever. So these are the things we're talking about. Bad governance. When they got into power in 2013, the economy was going okay, despite the 2007, 2008 clashes, but the economy was doing better. The loan, that our national debt was way lower, I don't know what happened and how they did take the loan, and whatever loan they took, we have nothing to show for. Because if you say that we build SGR already was done during Kibaki and Raila time. The decision and the financing of it. You should take a look at the Nairobi Expressway. Nairobi Expressway is also a PPP thing. That's why every money you pay is not going to the government; it's going to Moja Express, which is managing it. So there are so many things that we're not getting. One thing that is really going to kill us if we don't do this is the health sector. Food is already compromised, but I know we are going to get some way along. We're going to find a way with the rains and fertilizer that we can use manure, the traditional one. Kenyans will make a way, but health sector is completely messed up, and there is no way that woman should be there. I don't know what we can do to ensure that she goes.
I think we
Madge.
lost Lolo. Yes. So now, as
Can you hear anybody?
I can hear you.
I think we lost Ndolo. So could you I think Joe has spoken and Ndolo, I think we lost him. Kingsman spoke.
Yeah.
Did Walewa speak?
So
Give Walewa 1
and
minute.
then Hillary closes. Yes.
Yeah, kindly. So that's close. Walewa? Walewa? Okay, I think Walewa is far from the mic. Hillary, Joe, you're done, yeah?
Yeah, Joe was done.
And Kingsman, you're done.
Yes, yes. So Hillary closes.
Fine. So Hillary, take the mic. Hillary?
Okay.
Yes, Biril and
yes, go on.
and Marge, Kingsman, we really appreciate everybody and we salute you all the time, guys. I know we closed the space when we're still 7,000, but we've been here more than 4 hours, almost 5 hours. We want to appreciate you, and we told you that this conversation, it is just a starting point. We'll keep it going almost every day or after one day. We have a conversation going forward, different speakers and everything. And Biril said this. I hear so many people are saying that, oh, Miguna is capturing these things. Dr. Tari doesn't have any mind of taking this thing up. This thing is for Kenyans, and he has a right as a Kenyan to give his opinion. So those people are holding spaces, saying, "Oh, Miguna captured this and everything." That is a wrong thing and is a false. We want to say that we'll hold these spaces. We'll go on to the street every day, every time when we plan it. We don't have a leader. Those people who want to back off, let them back off. Those people who don't want to do it, but let us be peaceful when we go outside there. Make sure we be safe. Make sure we're in a good number so that we can be known where we are. Follow each other. The best thing that you can do to this thing is just follow co-host, follow this co-host, follow Mark, follow Biril, follow Kingsman, follow everybody. George, I see you there. Waston, man, follow these people, because we want to get all Kenyans. We want to have that a family group whereby we move as a team. So when you follow each other is very key. Make sure that you follow each other all the time. And thank you so much, guys, for coming and attending this session.
Mark, I think Mark, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah.
What we do, because I'm trying to get hold of Hillary, I'm also unable to.
No, Hillary is speaking. It's only you who cannot hear him.
Okay. Then if
Mark, your hands is up. You want to wind up?
Yes, I just wanted to. I forgot to say something before I get the word back to you. I posted posted on the comment section a link to a space that we're going to have this Sunday. That's a space whereby diasporans are going to be providing their feedback directly to the president on the state of the nation. So do look at it there. Set your reminder if you're a diasporan or if you just want to listen in. Yes, that's it. Hillary, back to you as we close.
Mok, what are you saying? I see your hand is crying, and I'm closing the space. Mok.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Biril, and the guys who have joined the space. I followed the conversation with Dr. Miguna and everyone else, and there's something I just thought. I've been thinking about it because this demonstration has been going on, and we have lost some of the Kenyans who we refer to as heroes. And again, so what can we do much better in this situation of police shooting Kenyans? We have so many guys over here in the space from the diaspora. And what can the diaspora guys help more than just giving the advice, way forward and all that? There's something I think we need to look into, like can we have the bullet jackets? In the Amazon, we have bullet jackets as cheap as between $8 to $15. Can we provide our people on the ground with the bullet jackets so that when they get out there, at least they are at least protected? That is the thought that I've been like, okay, this can also create another way of dealing with the demonstration and all that. Thank you, guys. Think about it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mok.
Hillary, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Walewa wameinua mikono, anataka kusemaje? Walewa unasemaje?
Can we close Hillary, please? Walewa had already given him a chance. It's too late.
Okay. Walewa salimia watu. Okay, guys, thank you so much again. Keep it live all the time, and we will notify you when we have another space. There's a diaspora space coming on, and Marge is hosting that. Keep everybody that's come to this space, but keep peace as much as we can. Let us be safe. Let us be in a group. Let us know where the other person is. Following each other is very important all the time. We'll keep this one alive all the time. We'll notify you when the other space is coming in. But we really, really humble for you coming and also sharing your views of what we can do to make our country to be secure. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. I see it is now 11 p.m. It is now 11 p.m. here. Guys,